Welcome to Stella's studio. I'm Stella Jurgen and I'm an artist. Healing through creative expression fosters mental well-being. My guest today will talk about her own life experience and how she used art to heal. Meet my guest artist, Tanzina Amin. She's Bangladeshi Canadian and Toronto-based. She's an award winner, curator, and also a teacher. Let's get to know her. Hi, Tanzina.
Hi, Stella.
Nice to have you here at Stella's studio.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
You know, I've known you for a couple of years now, and I keep following your journey as an artist, and I'm intrigued about how you started. Can you tell us about it?
Well, I started many years ago in the mid-1980s. When I was in high school, I used to just love sketching. I would sketch portraits, just in pencil, and I was kind of terrified to try painting. So my parents were very supportive, and they put me into a formal school, and I took 2 years of training in oil painting. So I started with very traditional oil painting. It's like landscape, still life, portraits, and so I did that for 2 years. Then I started university, and I just stopped. And I didn't paint for 23 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And you were able to stay away from the arts that long?
Yeah. Like in the beginning, it was kind of, I was too busy. And then once I graduated, I started my own business and with kids. And it's like, I just got busy and I just thought I didn't even remember how to paint anymore.
Oh, no, dear. So what profession did you have?
I'm an architect. So I graduated in architecture, and then I taught at the university for a year. And then life just got in the way. I had my own business in architecture and interior design. And
wow, see all the things I didn't know about you. That's awesome. You also have kids, right?
Yes, I have 2 boys. So right now, between my husband and myself, we have 5 boys.
That's a full house, almost a soccer team.
Yes, all in their 20s. So.
Okay, so how did you get back into painting?
I was going through a very difficult time in my life around 2009, and my friends were also pushing me, you should go back to your passion and do something that makes you happy. And at that point, I was just wondering, can I even paint anymore? So
it's hard to get back into it. Don't you find that you're actually scared? Would I be able to do it again? How am I going to approach this differently than before?
Exactly, it was intimidating.
Yeah.
So finally, I went and bought myself some supplies, and as soon as I started, it was like I never stopped.
It's like riding a bicycle.
Yeah.
You'd never forget.
I was just in my zone. When I paint, it's like I'm in my little zone. I'm meditating. I'm completely unaware of what else is going on around me, and I can be hours and hours in that zone and have no sense of time. So that felt really amazing, and that's when I promised myself, no matter how busy life is, I'm going to continue my art, my passion.
It's your time.
Yeah.
It's your space. It's your creation. It's priceless. That moment that you feel, that emotion, and that, I don't know, it's a different world when you are painting. I feel the same way. I'm lost in my painting when I'm doing that, and it's really healing for me too. And sometimes I need it, right? You feel like you do need to do this, and it's good for you.
Exactly.
So tell me, you started then painting again, and you were encouraged to do some exhibitions and participate. How was that?
I didn't start exhibiting yet. I didn't feel confident enough, and I had no clue where to go. I had no idea about the art scene, especially for emerging artists. And the other thing was, as I started painting again, the only thing I knew how to do was oil painting in a realism style. But my life had changed over all these years, and I just wanted more color in my art, and I just wanted something else. So I was still doing realism, but in a more colorful way. And then I took a course in abstract expressionism, which inspired me to change my style. And that's when I got a lot more confidence, and I felt I was ready to show. And I started approaching galleries and art shows, and I started with group exhibits.
It must have been exciting to change from realism to abstract. Was it?
Something
new for you?
It was.
Something cool and colorful and different, right?
Yes, like I was inspired by all this art, and I wanted to do it, but I just didn't know how to. Like I was too rigid in my style before. I only knew how to draw and paint what I see. Mm-hmm. But I wanted it to be more abstract. I wanted it to have more expression and just bring out more of my feelings into my painting.
Do you find that the realism didn't have as much of the emotional outcome as you wanted?
Yes.
And the abstract did?
Yes.
Yes. You could express it better that way.
Yes. So when I took that course, it really helped me open up.
Do you do just portraits of people or also pets?
I do pets as well. And I also do pet portrait and self-portrait workshops, where it's kind of like a paint night where you go in with probably no art experience, and in 3 hours you create either a self-portrait or a pet portrait. You bring your own picture as a reference, so everyone goes home with their own unique piece of art in an expressionism style. Nice. So I encourage people to use their favorite color, and it's already a picture of their pet or themselves. So the color and the picture, that already makes a personal connection. So it's always a really fun workshop.
I know you also opened an art gallery.
Yes.
When was that?
My husband and I, we opened the gallery Arthusiasm in February 2017. So we were open for 2 years. And before opening the gallery, we were curating art exhibits in other places, which kind of led to opening our own space. So we curated over 70 art exhibitions in a 3-year period.
That's amazing. Is your husband also an art lover? I know he was born in Portugal, right?
Yes.
Close to Lisbon.
Yes.
And that's very cool. And I find it fascinating, how did you and him get together and actually have this project about art and say, we're going to open an art gallery? How was that?
We've been together since 2011, and so that was around the time when I was experimenting with my style, and he's been a great supporter of my passion. So he's one of the
Is he an artist too? Does he paint?
He's not an artist. He did take one of my workshops, though.
That's a good start,
and he did an amazing portrait.
See, the talent you didn't know he had.
Yes. Even he didn't know
he had it.
Yes, but he's an art lover for sure. He has a very good eye for art. Like when we're curating, we always bounce ideas off of each other. So it's like we make a great team when we're curating.
I actually
art shows.
remember attending one of your art openings at Arthusiasm, and I was very impressed about the art selection you had. Plus, you had a really good attendance. So you must have a really large network of artists that love you and love your curating abilities and your shop, your gallery. I think that was awesome.
Thank you.
Enthusiasm in front of Tanzina's Eclectic Potpourri exhibit. And this is a place where you can find tranquil works of art to make you escape to a different place, or you can see pieces that will fill you with confidence and excitement.
Live from Enthusiasm on a Saturday night. Well, what can I say? I think this is a conflict of interest, actually. The curator is married to the artist, and the artist is married to the curator. But that's how things work at Enthusiasm. Everything is a conflict.
Tanzina's show, and what a beautiful show. It is just amazing. You get to see all her different styles from different times. It's just amazing.
Thank you.
Such a great artist.
It is life, but at the same time it's abstract, and it leaves space for the mind and imagination to create a story.
Celebrate Tanzina's amazing oeuvre and to see all of these fabulous paintings in one place, the wide variety, and just to see everybody who has come all year gathered to celebrate her work today. That's what it's all about.
It's a beautiful moment. We're celebrating the art of Tanzina at my eclectic potpourri, and just come over here. This one right here is coming home with me. So congratulations, Tanzina. It's great to be here, and it's beautiful artwork. And thanks for the inspiration and all your creations and creating the space for us.
Thank you. We have exhibited over 700 local artists through our exhibitions. And yes, like I said, with over 70 exhibits, every single reception was very well attended. I think part of it is that both Carlos and I, we put our passion into curating. Like when we curate, every single artist, every single piece of art is equally important. And we would spend hours and hours curating before anything goes on the wall. And it showed, and people felt it.
And I also know that besides having your art gallery and doing all that work, you also are a participant of art battles.
Yes.
Yes, aren't they great and fun and exciting?
Yes.
They make you get
You
it
know that,
all
you've
out.
been there too. Yeah.
We were competitors. That was so much fun. That really interested you in doing that some more, right? Because it's fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's something where I'm completely out of my comfort zone. I'm a very slow painter. I could just sit in front of a blank canvas for hours or days.
And just wait for it to happen.
Yeah.
Like canvas, paint yourself. This is what I'm thinking, just do it. Right?
Like I take my time, I paint layer after layer. I will never paint in one sitting. I will take weeks and months to do a
So
painting.
now you can do it in 20 minutes after that
Only when
practice.
I'm at art battle. Even when I'm trying to practice for art battle at home, I can't. I just have to be in that place and time and that moment with all those people around, and it's just get the adrenaline going and
You know,
go at it.
I find that I also come from realism because that's how I started. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, the realism just gets you to a certain point. But you can't really express everything into it, unless that's the way I see it. And then when I see a canvas and I want to start a painting, I'm afraid of messing it up. Because if it's not perfect, if it's not, exactly the way I'm thinking, I'm frustrated about it.
Right.
With the art battle, it teaches you that that doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Just get it all out, just do it in 20 minutes, and whatever comes out is because you did it. So take fully responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? But it's good. It's great. It brings us out. At the moment, we don't know what to expect, and it's all like spontaneous. Tanzina, you are a very talented artist, and after you experience the art battle and your own art gallery and curating and all that, you're also an award winner, right? Tell us about that.
So when I first started showing my art in 2015, one of my first exhibits was this juried exhibition at Nielsen Park. And for my first ever exhibit, I only entered one piece and I won the People's Choice Award. So that was,
there you go.
That was really very motivating for me, because at that time I didn't know anyone, and all those people that voted for me were just people I didn't know that visited the gallery over a course of 3 weeks and voted. So after that, I participated. I was invited to go to a live painting competition, which was not Art Battle. It was another competition in Mississauga. And again, at that time, I had an hour to do a painting in a 24 by 24 canvas. And I won first prize on that. So that was the first time ever painting live. And so that definitely really felt great and inspired me to keep on painting and keep on exhibiting. After that, I was nominated into an Emerging Artist Award. I didn't win first prize, but there were like hundreds of artists that participated. Just for me to be in the top 10 was great.
After all, that everything was going great and you enjoy your painting and you felt like you were getting there, getting it all out, and you were happy. Something happened in your life that made you paint more. What was that?
About 2 years ago, I lost my brother. He was my only sibling and a very good friend. Like, of course, we grew up together, and for over 50 years, it was like the four of us, my parents and my brother and myself, we were that unit of family. And he had a heart attack. He passed away, and soon after that, within a few months, my dad and my mom also passed very suddenly. Both were very sudden deaths, which I wasn't prepared for, and
no one will be prepared for such tragedy. So many members of your family dying all of a sudden. I can see how that could be so hard.
Yeah, so I didn't realize how much of a toll it took on me until my mom passed and I was with her, and she passed while we were watching TV. It was not expected at all. And when that was overseas in Bangladesh, and when I came back, I went to see my doctor for other reasons, and he said that partly because of what's going on in my life, I was having all these other symptoms, and he referred me to this hospice that offers bereavement care, Dorothy Lay Hospice, and I started bereavement therapy there. Art therapy and counseling, and that really meant so much to me. Now for the past few months I've been volunteering there. My husband also joined because he saw how much it helped, and that affected my art for sure. Over the past couple of years, I find that when I'm painting, a lot of my deeper feelings are coming out through my art. Like, I find that this is kind of my healing phase of my artistic journey. I'm still painting figures and faces, and I'm not controlling it, but they all come out kind of in that sadness or in that look, that feeling of kind of self-healing.
And it's helping you overcome this.
It's helping a lot.
Do you recommend a service like that for other people?
I highly recommend, because art therapy is very different from art, like the creation of art. The goal is the opposite. With art, when I'm creating a piece, the goal is the finished product and however I can get there. With art therapy, you don't worry about the finished product. You just focus on the process. So you're just expressing your feelings non-verbally through your art. And that's just an amazing feeling. I do want to learn more about that, and I am taking more training and courses and other learning to learn more about healing and wellness.
And I know you also like to teach your art, so you think this will help you also in your instructions?
I believe so. I am doing a meditative art workshop in May. So that will be based on just starting with meditation. I've taken a lot of meditation, and I'm also a Reiki healer. So it's just start with meditation, focus on a very positive thought, and I will guide people through an intuitive art process. So when they take home that piece of art, every time they look at it, they will remember that feeling of positivity and that feeling of that happy moment that they felt when they were creating it. So I have done this workshop before, and I highly recommend that you just keep it somewhere that's the last thing you see when you go to bed and the first thing you see when you wake up, just to kind of give you that boost of positive feeling every day.
To celebrate your journey as an artist, you're now presenting an exhibition. I would like to know more about that.
So this is an exhibition called Rites of Passage, a retrospective. So it's a journey of my artistic career, and this is being curated by the students of University of Guelph-Humber. I was approached by their professor, Aida, last year that the event management students do this art exhibit as their final project, and she asked if I would be interested as the artist to do the exhibit as one of the artists. So I was selected, and the students are curating the show. They're doing everything from the planning, and they were the ones that decided, let's do a journey. After they had the first meeting with me, they're curating the exhibit based on the 4 phases of my artistic journey. starting with the beginning.
The
with
beginning of your art
oil
realism. Oh,
paintings.
really? You're gonna show your
Yeah.
first works.
Yes.
Awesome.
And then the return, when I started painting again.
After 23 years.
Yes. And then the abstract expressionism phase, which I'm calling the awakening.
Uh-huh.
And
The
then
discovery of a
Yes.
new thing, the abstract, and then the final
exciting
phase.
And then the final healing phase, which is still growing. It's still ongoing and evolving. And they're doing the whole red carpet thing, and I'm very excited to see what they're doing tonight.
That sounds amazing. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations on
Thank
the
you.
solo exhibit. And so it starts today.
Yes, so it starts today,
And-
March 12th, until the 30th.
So don't forget to visit Tanzina Amin's exhibit. It starts today until March the 30th, and it will be at the University of Guelph Humber Art Gallery, which is at 207 Humber College Boulevard in Toronto. If you would like to get in touch with Tanzina for some workshops coming up soon in May, and also to check her exhibitions coming up, you can contact her at www.tanzina.ca. Thank you, Tanzina, for coming to Stella's studio. I am honored and so happy that you were able to take the time. I wish you all the luck and success on your journey as an artist.
Thank you, Stella. Thank you for having me here.
Making art, it's a way to channel your feelings and emotions through a creative process that is essential to the well-being of our mental health. Try it. To watch our shows 24/7, subscribe to Bell 5659 or Roger 672. Be inspired by Stella Studio on Camões TV.